All right, everyone, welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Monday, July 8th, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, hope you guys didn't miss me too much here. I was not here Friday, obviously, but now getting back into it here today. So hope everybody had a good little mini vacation. If you didn't, apologies there. But in any case, we have today what I would call pretty much like a holiday hangover. It's a totally common type price action here. Spiders are up 10 cents, Q's up 38. Dow fractionally lower, and the Russell is actually the leader today. But you're going to see here, if we take a look at the spiders, look at the volume, right? So we're closing in about just over 15 minutes, and we haven't even done 20 million shares on the SPY yet. So we're closed for the better part of the last 5 days. I told you guys last week, I told you guys going all the way back to like towards the end of June, expect a low before the 4th of July. And we got it last Monday, and nice surge. So many reasons I said that, but one of the main ones is that the volume's going to dry up, right? Fund managers will be gone by Tuesday afternoon. They're going to be in the Hamptons. I know you guys think I'm joking when I say that, but I'm not kidding. And you can see, look at the volume trends, right? That's neutral to upside. And that's why I said repeatedly, guys, the bears, if they're going to do something, I know you guys were fighting me on this, but not all of you, but they got to damage this chart. Like, you've got to damage it within time. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. And you can see us going higher here. So markets are holding up right now. Market closed better part of the last 5 days. So we're just seeing kind of like exhaustion, kind of, market catching its breath type action. Not a lot of participation, and we're just digesting the move. Again, additionally, we do have inflation data we got this week. So CPI, PPI, we have some auctions. We got Janet and Jay tomorrow. I don't expect that to derail the rally. Unless something big happens, big that macro event that unpins the market, I don't expect any of that stuff to really matter. Every single day, I pull up Twitter, and if I'm scrolling more than like 3 swipes, I see some chart about breadth. I see some chart about the equal weight S&P. That tells me there's still a lot of people betting against the market, and it's not sneaking up on anybody. So, we can complain about breadth all we want, but I told you not to short the market because of that, and hopefully everybody's listening. But in any case, markets are holding up. We got some inflation data later this week, so we may have to cook in the oven a little longer here, but we should, eclipse 5,600, by the next, within the next week or so. But either way, markets are holding up okay. Speaking of equal weight, it's up 21 basis points with the spiders flat, so explain that one for me. QQQ here up 11 basis points. Equal weight, QQQ is flat to lower, but we had a nice breakout on Friday, and that just, again, summer of narrative destruction is in full swing there. But Q's making new all-time highs today and new all-time closing highs, unless we dump down in the next 15 minutes, which is possible. There is a little bit of GEX still at 55.50, so it wouldn't shock me if we go to revisit that at some point today or tomorrow. But either way, Russell 2000 here up 70 basis points. That's the big leader today. I'm really watching this tightening range here. I like looking at the RTY. I think it's just a little bit cleaner. And this can move tomorrow. This is ready to go. I told you guys last week right here that this could, watch out for a rally in the Russell on the 27th. That happened. I'm telling you, the same setup is there right now. Doesn't mean it has to, but if it wants to, it's ready. Friday is also CPI. If that comes in cool, that could be a catalyst to break this range. Everyone hates the Russell, and for good reason, but I think the hated stuff is going to start moving. What do I mean by that? Tesla. What do I mean by that? Intel took a nice winner on this one today. Still holding a runner on this Intel position. AMD. Everybody's like, oh, AMD sucks. It's lagging. Well, it's not anymore. So I think the hated things are getting ready to move. Diamond here down 43 cents. Take a look at the YM, though. Again, similar kind of pattern as the Russell. It's not as tight yet, but, it's just kind of a wedge. Just kind of wedging up there. Sorry, that weekly is not adjusted for contracts, but either way, Diamond's holding up. It was green earlier and then pulled back, but again, this pattern's fine. So no problems there. SMH up 1.5 again. Intel, or excuse me, NVIDIA, not really the leader today, up 1.9, but it's really AMD and Intel that are, really, really taking leadership here. By the way, on Intel, it's a perfect example why I always say go to the bigger time frames. Is this was doing nothing on the daily. The weekly was a bear flag, but your monthly, all it was just a back test of this breakout area. And you're not going to break out of something that took 7 months, 8 months to break out in 2 months of consolidation. So everybody betting on a bear flag here is now getting hosed. Very much like Tesla. Explosive move. Nice pop. IGV backing off. You guys know it's my favorite sector right now. Backing off today. Oh, it's only up from 76 to 89 in like a month. So it can have a red day. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 5th red day since the 31st of May. So I told you guys this is a good sector to get into. And I think it goes to 92. Transport's down, but they did come off the lows here. So this has plenty of room for a higher low at this point. Still backing off, though. Still backing off for what it's worth. You want to see a higher high here, and there's still a lot of resistance at 15.7 to 15.8, though, if it gets up there. But it's in a little bit better shape than it was a week ago, or 2 weeks ago. But it is pulling back a little bit here. 2-year broke down on Friday. Did not obviously get a chance to talk about that. But really all yields kind of did. So the 5-year kind of backed off, 10s and 30s backed off. And if we look at the yield curves, it's not like they really... I mean, they unwound for a few days and now they're kind of just stuck again. So that's going to be the key here. Do these unwind? By the way, the 3-month 10-year is still inverted by 110 basis points. So it's a lot. So that's not really anywhere close to uninverting. The 2s and 10s are, though, and they've been inverted for now officially over 2 years. So you can see right there, July 2022. It's 2 years of inversions. I think that's close to a record. And then, excuse me, and then 3-month 10-year, that's, you got to go to October, November of 2022. But 2-year did bounce. It did slice down pretty good. 5s, a little bit better shape. 10s, 30s, a little bit better shape here. I don't see yields going too much lower, as you guys know, but they did back off pretty good last week. And again, we got CPI this week. Is it trying to price in a cool CPI? We'll see. XHB got a nice bounce today. That was a leading sector, but it is starting to bear flag now. So you have down move, bear flag, chop on the daily. I like this down in the low 90s if it gets down there for a bounce. If you break back above this, let's say 10, we'll just say 102, I think it could squeeze though. So, and the reason I say that is because look at this alternate look. Right, so you gotta, there's 2 ways of looking at everything. But at face value, bear flag there on the daily. What it's not bear flagging is VNQ though. So VNQ is still kind of bull flagging, right? So if we look at the weekly, it's not really the cleanest, but it's there. So I like this better, in fact, because this doesn't have a dividend in the way. Look at the IYR. It's a lot tighter of a pattern here, right? Or even XLRE. Nice wedge. So I think commercial real estate looks a lot better than home builders. For now. XLF down 8 cents. KRE was green, although it is pulling back a little bit here as we get closer to the end of the day. KBE still holding up. And then broker dealers here backing off the highs, but they made new highs, so we'll leave that alone. Oil continuing down. Yes, I'm still holding a runner short in this. And it's still paying out. This might be a high. The reason why I'm holding that runner, normally I would just get rid of it after, it was originally a day trade, but I'm holding a runner. This timing, right? Beginning of July, peak driving season, it's now hit, and you're in a general election year. So you can figure out what that means. But I don't think oil is going to go much higher unless some geopolitical stuff goes on. XLE backing off here. I do think this could be a dip buy, though, at some point. I don't have a clear read on it right now. It is rolling over a bit. XOP is fractionally higher, and then OIH looks better, right? So here's that big breakup bar from the 24th. See how it's above that versus the XOP, which is barely above that, and the XLE, which is about to be below it. So OH in a little bit better shape. Don't have a great read on these, but I do think there will be dip buys at some point soon. CCJ backing off. It is coming off the lows. It took a pretty good hit. Holding that weekly 20 MA. And that's just been support on this whole bull run here. I do think it's getting tired, but it's still holding up on the weekly. And then the NM and the NJ are still holding up as well, but they got to hold those weekly levels. The hurricane made landfall, which means nat gas has never been more bearish than our entire lifetimes. Just kidding, but basically that's the market sentiment. But in any case, we had a good gap. I think this is a local low. Pretty good gap down, like 2 or 3%, and then a V shape overnight, and it is consolidating that V shape. So you got a nice bull flag there on the hourly. I think it's at least a local low. We did hit daily oversold. The 4 hour, pretty fat divergence there. And the hourly, massive divergence. So I think it'll work its way back up towards 250. I don't know where it wants to go from there, but this should at least give you a dead cat bounce here. Maybe more, but we'll see. 250, 255, and then 260 are your resistances here in the near term, but that's nat gas for you, straight down. Forget, doesn't matter if there's a hurricane or not. No tail risk there. So, I mean, it's only a Cat 1, but you know those things can change, and it's surprising the market didn't price in a little bit more. But either way, I think that's a local low. Dollar index down here. It did slice this trend line here. I'm not going to make a ton out of that. It's sloppy. We could just, I could easily. There's a million ways I could adjust that trend line. But, we could also flip our other lines back on here and just say that, here, I mean, there's another way to look at the trend line, right? Just an ascending triangle, right? Or even we'd put that top side trend line on there again. It's a big fat wedge. The important thing is you have the bullish inside bar intact. As long as that's intact, I'm not going to be bearish the dollar, but it did back off. Gold had a really nice move last week as well. It did pull back today. So 24 is still resistance. I don't think this is ready to move yet. Later in the summer, though. But 20 MA has caught up to price, so if it wants to go now, I guess it can. Really nothing saying it can't. I would just prefer these moving averages on the bigger time frames to catch up. Silver, same look. Nice outside move last week. Good move for silver. Pulling back today, platinum pulling back today as well, but still got those nice higher lows with the higher high. And then palladium closing above the 200 moving average for the first time since October 2022. So that's significant. And again, I think it's cheap down here, as you guys know. Copper here, nice move. Tagging 470. Again, first hit of the 20 MA after an extended move is usually going to get defended. And it did. I did not catch it, unfortunately, but good move there for copper. Yeah, let's just say 480 to 487 are your targets here if it wants to keep going. If it takes out this low, though, it can go definitely lower. I have to work on numbers, but right now it's holding up okay. Bitcoin has been all over the map. I mean, seriously, all over the map here. I did pick this up again last week on the big decline. So got in and out there, got in again. A lot of hysteria too, a lot of panic. So I do like that. Again, I hear a lot of people calling for 45,000. That gets me a little bit. I mean, just that in general, seeing that many calls gets me bullish. But I'll say this week, I don't think it goes lower than, I think it just bare flags if at the worst. Best case scenario, you get a V shape. At the very minimum, I think we'll at least test 60, maybe 63. But I think worst case scenario, if it's going to go down to 45, it's going to have to do this first, and then it can go down. I don't think it's ready yet. In fact, I have buy signals on it right now. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought it. But again, a lot of people, it's just still hysteria and everything, right? I'm not saying this plays out, but what kind of pattern is this? Right, let's go to the monthly. And it could fail, but like looks kind of flaggy, right? Then why are we freaking out over like a little bit of a daily dip? I mean, who cares? Um, I'm not saying that it can't, I mean, you are still really extended from that monthly 20 MA, as I've told you, but if we're just doing, if we're just doing this inside of this area here, inside of this channel, that 20 MA can catch up to price and then it will act as fuel. All right, so again, I'm not saying this has to happen, but just some food for thought. But short term, right now, we had a little bit of a slice earlier. I'd want to see it back above 57, 57.2, which is trying to work its way back up here. It does have higher lows right now since the dump. And if you can get back above that bear raid right there, that volume raid, I think it repairs the chart a little bit better and has more of a chance of testing 60 to 63. But lots of volatility there. Bitcoin is moving around big time. So market's closing in a few seconds here or minutes. Oh, nice little pop here towards the end of the day. Pretty good volume coming in there too. It's not the first of the month. So yeah, good bid there, and markets are holding up. So we'll leave it at that for now. Again, I don't think that the data this week is going to derail the market, even if it comes in worse than expected. But either way, yeah, we should still have some time on the clock for this rally, and that's still going to be the case, I think. Especially as long as the volume stays light. So anyways, guys, going to wrap it up here. You guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. See you guys all tomorrow.